Hey guys, well, I'm on my way to work. Another on-campus meeting. I've got a breakfast this morning, actually. So, we'll be getting an award for top performer, which is pretty cool. So yeah, although I'm exhausted, I'm super tired. I've got my Starbucks Pike Place, which I blend with some coconut oil, which is actually a solid. It's pretty, chunk it out, the thing. Cinnamon, little cocoa powder, real cocoa powder, and I have this little like vegan creamer, blah blah blah, that I put in there too. And then I've got like a single size blender that I blended up. Just a couple seconds, wakes everyone up in the morning, pisses them off. It's perfect. Just kidding. And yeah, that's what's in here. So it's got a real coconutty taste, and I will tell you, I can't tell you how many people have told me that coconut is the way to go. It's like a super fruit, or and as I've been working with it in my coffee, and I put it in a smoothie I make every day with some cashew milk or almond milk, whatever I've got, and a banana. But it seems, I look at it this way, that when coconut oil is solid, or when it's above or below 75 degrees or 76 degrees, it solidifies and it's a solid. So you have to scoop it out and you dump it in your, put it in your coffee or whatever. And then once it hits 75 degrees or what have you, it liquefies, and it's kind of a neat, I don't know why, but it's kind of brilliant to me. And I look at it as oil or grease for my body, like in my bones, right? So like you change the oil in your car and, keeps things running smooth. That's what I look at coconut oil as. I mean, there's nothing bad for you about it, right? It's got fats in it, but it's going to have the good fats, the fats that you need. A lot of people don't like coconut. So here's what, go sweeten it up. Get chocolate, put some chocolate on it, But either way, I highly recommend it. It's super good. And this morning, it's really good actually. This morning, I'm running way late, so that's awesome, right? Top performer, and look who's late. Great. Genius. Anyhow, I didn't realize it was so much traffic. Tomorrow's a big day. I will be DMing Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition for a number of 10-year-olds. This will be our second session. Last time it was 3 young gentlemen, my best buddy's son, and then a friend's kid and their friend. But tomorrow I think we will be joined by one other, and it'll be a 10-year-old girl. So we'll be throwing a girl into the mix. I'm kind of excited. That can change the dynamic, especially with 10-year-old boys. How's that going to be, right? I just rolled these up, but so yeah, we'll see. We'll check it out, see what's going on. Pretty excited about that. Still pretty stoked about playing Urban Shadows. Still reading the book. Excited about it. I got a couple comments of people playing the first game, DMing their first game of D&D 50. Just a bit of advice. Now, I've DM'd for a couple cons. I've DM'd at my local game store every Thursday night. I was the primary DM there. So I'm not saying I'm great by any means, but I'm saying I've experienced a lot of different players, and I have run a number of different campaigns that I feel like I could give you some good advice if you. And I know every channel, D&D channel, has, this advice for DMs, but here's the deal. I'm going to tell you like it is. I'm not going to BS. I'm not going to fancy it up. I'm just going to tell you, as a DM, okay, I cheat all the time. That's what I do. I think a DM or GM or MC or whatever you want to call it is the only role that when you cheat, it actually can benefit quite a bit, the other players. So, for instance, you're playing with a bunch of 10-year-olds, right? And they're getting frustrated because they can't kill this, goblin queen or what have you. Just make it happen, man. I mean, it's that simple, right? You're the DM. You're God. You're God of that story, right? You created that story, or you are in the process of creating it. And if you're just running by the, skin your teeth because you don't have any information. In fact, let me backtrack for a second. Some of my very, very best sessions were sessions that I did not prepare at all. And that it took me a long time to actually admit that and, admit it, because I would put so much work into these certain sessions and they wouldn't pan out because I was so rigid and strict on, oh no, I created it this way and it's got to be this way and these are the stats and no, I'm sorry, you can't hit it, and all these different things. You really, as a DM, a GM, if you want to have memorable sessions, and not just you remembering these sessions, it's about the group remembering these sessions. Yeah, you're going to remember once you do a TPK, total party kill. You'll remember that, and they might remember it too, but they're not going to remember it in a fond way, right? So you want to get those really good, exciting, fun moments, funny moments, crazy moments, things like that. And if you need to bend the rules or break the rules or reverse the rules, whatever you need to do as a DM, do it, because that's how you have a good game. Throw the books away, do it. I mean, honest to God, I could sit down at any point, and I'm not saying I'm good. This is I'm just saying that I've done it enough to now know that you don't need to prepare. Now, here's the problem. I love preparing. I love putting the stories together, building the worlds, creating the NPCs, the non-player characters, giving them stats, the monsters, all that jazz. But because I used to do it at the game store, every Wednesday night, there were nights that I would be driving there thinking like, damn, I did nothing for this session. This is going to be a failure, a massive, massive failure. When in actuality, I'd walk away from that 4-hour session, 5-hour session thinking, best session ever. I don't know why. And, well, I do know why. Because it forces you to flow with the team, with the group. So, am I going to stop buying RPG books? Hell no. Love it. I love having that that tactile book, hardcover typically, in my hands. Licking the fingers, flipping through the pages, trying to find the specific stats or rule or whatever. I love that. I do. I will never stop that ever. And the reason the way that I justify that is because it gives me ideas. It gives me flavor in my mind of other things that I can do to make this experience so much better for my players. Again, if I am too rigid, too stuck in my way, it's going to suck. Could suck. Maybe good, but it's got more limitations. So again, and one thing I've got to stress is that if you see on one of your players' faces that they are excited to do something, yet it's not in the realm, or it doesn't seem like they could really do something like that, don't tell them no. Don't necessarily tell them yes. You don't have to be the yes guy either, right? Oh, to have fun, I guess they get to do whatever they want. No. If you let that happen, you're going to lose control completely. There's got to be that balance, right? So you need to tell them no just as much, not more, but just as much, or a little less, I should say, than as much as you tell them yes. Okay, so they have this crazy idea. They're going to kick off the wall, swing on the chandelier, jump on the ground on the actual protagonist and antagonist. It's morning, first cup of coffee. Don't judge me. Let them do it. Let them roll for it. Tell them. Say this. You know what? that is going to be tricky because you know that there is blood everywhere, so it is slick. You jumping off walls and onto chandeliers, it's not going to be easy. You've got blood all over you, right? So that's probably a negative too. And then in your head, you're saying that. And then also, you know, your dexterity isn't that great. It's average. So you being able to do this is not going to be easy. But then in your head, you're thinking, well, of course, his stats will show that, right? So you don't have to deduct for that. And then tell the player or her, say, this is going to be very difficult. Absolutely try. That's a brilliant idea. Tell them that. Tell them that their ideas are great. Even if you have to say, but you can't do it here because blah, blah, blah. But in this situation, say, great idea, brilliant, love it, do it. It's going to be hard. You have to roll an 18 or higher. Say that. Tell them exactly what they need to roll because I've found out that if I need to roll high. Well, yeah. You need to roll high always, right? So tell them what they're looking for. They need that goal. And maybe not always. You know, again, do it, go with the flow. If it feels like, I don't know, you know, what's hitting this dude and what's not hitting this dude, you know, I mean, don't tell them the number then if they're not aware. But in most situations, you should tell them what they want to be aiming for. Oh, there's a huge dump truck trying to get in front of me. Great. Oh, man, I'm so late. All right. Well, that's my GM, DM, MC tip for the day. Cheat. Don't follow any of the rules. Use the rules not even as a guideline, but as a extremely loose guideline, right? Like the frame of a house made of balsam wood, so you can just pull that wood right out and put something else in there. Yeah, so that's that. Tomorrow's going to be a good day. Guys, I hope that you please subscribe to my channel. Give me some likes. Give me some dislikes if you don't like what you're seeing. Give me some advice on the channel on what to talk about. Tell me what games you're playing. I'm not getting much of that. I've gotten a few people who have told me about their sessions, but I want to hear I want to hear about your sessions. Hell, video record them and put them on YouTube so I can see it and watch it and play it. You know, steal your ideas. That's another thing. Another great tip is steal. God, you know, RPGs they are of the devil. They make you cheat. They make you steal. They're violent. Damn, my mom was right. Totally kidding. Anyhow, so cheat, steal, yeah. But steal from movies, from stories, from jokes you've heard. Throw a joke in there every once in a while, right? That you heard. Make it apt to the story. Make it, applicable. Yeah, movies. One thing that I love to run, and I stole this from a different DM actually that I played with way back when, are air balloons. I love holding a session or having an act where all my characters are all my players are in an air balloon. So when I say air balloon, I'm talking exactly that, like a blimp, right? But it's hanging off, and they're on this this ship. It's usually actually a ship, like the deck, of a ship. So I've had the last one that I had actually that I ran this way is that they woke up on this ship, right? This rocking ship, and they're in the ocean, and they hear this, right? And they get up, and they can't really find their feet. They got their sea legs apparently, or they don't find their sea legs, and they're walking around. It doesn't till much later in the story that they realize they're not even in the water. They're in the air, and they had no idea for a good portion of that session. And then there was and the reason they found out is because they threw a guy over, and they heard him screaming, like that, right? And no splash. It just kept going until it, kind of faded out. And then they looked over, and they realized that they were in the air. So, I stole that from another game that another DM played, so that I played with another DM. So again, steal ideas, fudge everything, meaning cheat. And when I'm saying, again, you know what I should have clarified in the very beginning is, when I say cheat, I'm not saying cheat for your benefit, cheat for their benefit. Does that make sense? So you want to cheat to make sure that they are having a good time. When you see frustration on a player's face, you don't want that to last very long. Otherwise, that player is going to walk away from your game, because that's in essence exactly what it is. It's just a game. Not happy, not feeling good. And here's the thing: it's okay for your players to be bummed out, or their character killed, or whatever the case might be. These things happen, and you need to keep them in the game to let the players know that those are possibilities. There are still dangers. Yes, a lot of your roles are kicking ass and making things happen, but you could still get injured and you can still die. So you do want to keep those very obvious to your players. But again, that fine line, let them do what they want to do. Actually, and last story before I go is air balloon. A whole entirely different air balloon story that I did. Apparently, I do love air balloons. I had all my players on the air balloon, and there were actually a bunch of air balloons. There were goblins on the other ones. They were trying to shoot with bow and arrows and crossbows, what have you. And one of my players tried to leap off of the main air balloon, right, ship, onto the goblin ship. And it's windy. They're, miles in the air. The ships are swaying. There's clouds that they're trying to see through and throw and jump through and what have you. There's goblins everywhere. Arrows flinging. Goblins are actually jumping onto the ship, right, with rope and stuff like this. So, my buddy said, "I'm going to jump onto the other one." I said, "Go ahead, but 18 or more." And he was like, "I got this." I believe he had some, he could do a re-roll. You don't know what I'm talking about. But, and he had to use it, and then he still didn't make it. And falling damage in dungeons, pretty much any Dungeons & Dragons game, falling damage is brutal. Just like real life, right? If you fall 10 feet, you're gonna hurt yourself, especially if you're not, falling knowing exactly where you're gonna land and your feet are below you. So he died. He hit he died. I let him say, "Okay, well, did you hit the bottom and die, or did you die midway, or what did you do?" And he made some funny, I can't remember what quip he did, whatever, but he did it, and he died. And that's just the way it is, And that's how and he loved that character. He had played that character for quite a bit. It's just the way it's got to work, You got to keep that out there. So, all right, guys, have a good day. I'm out, and keep buffing, keep playing. Please like, please subscribe. Peace.